Has Mr. Harper answered all your questions? Have you had any drugs, alcohol, or medication that affects your ability to understand what we're doing here today?
No.
I'll accept the plea. I'll find that it's freely and voluntarily entered. On count 2, you'll be adjudicated guilty. You'll have to pay $270 in court costs, $100 cost of defense, and you'll have 120 days to pay those costs, and then count 1 is dismissed by the state. All right, ma'am? Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Ms. Carter?
Yes.
All right, ma'am, you need to take off the hat because you're in court.
Okay. Okay.
All right, Ms. Carter, you're here today on a charge of driving while licensed suspended or revoked. Are you represented by an attorney?
No.
Would you like to be?
No.
Okay. Does the state have an offer?
Yes, Your Honor, the state would like to offer a DPA.
Okay. So, Ms. Carter, the state's going to offer you a deferred prosecution agreement. So what you'll need to do is, do you want her to email someone at your office?
Yes, Your
What
Honor.
is that?
So the state's going to offer you a deferred prosecution agreement. It's basically a contract between you and the state of Florida. If you complete the terms of the agreement, then the charges will be dismissed against you. If you don't complete the terms of the agreement, then you'll be placed back on the docket. And you don't have to do the deferred prosecution agreement.
Yeah, because I was gonna ask, what if I was supposed to get my license taken care of, but then I got a message from y'all's county saying that February 4th, my license would be suspended again. So I actually been calling y'all's, federal courts for the past week to set up a payment plan for the tickets that I have there. And they said they was gonna send me a link. I still haven't got the link
Okay.
to set up the payment plan.
So that,
And I can't get my license back valid until that payment plan is done.
okay. So that is separate from this charge.
What charge is this? Because it's for my license. And the last court date, which was in January, my last court date that I had with Johnson County, the first one, she told me if I came with my license valid, then you guys would dismiss the case. That's exactly what the judge told me. But how can I get my license valid if y'all's courts isn't giving me what I need?
All right. Do you want some additional time to work on this, ma'am?
Please, I just am waiting for that link so I can get my license back valid. That's literally all I'm waiting on.
It's up to the clerk of court whether or not they'll do a payment plan with you.
They already said they would.
Okay. It's up to them whether or not they'll do one with you. Okay? So I'll continue the case until March 3rd.
Okay. So just use this same link?
No, ma'am.
Number to join?
No, ma'am. You have to file a motion to request to appear via Zoom.
So I gotta file another motion to request the third via Zoom?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you. Severio Sarah, Sheila Clark, Tiana Clay. What's your name?
Severio, Sarah.
All right, Mr. Sarah, you're here with Ms. Tringus?
Yes.
Yes, I'm sorry. Your Honor, we did, Mr. Sarah did sign a written plea agreement, which I believe you signed the order today.
Okay. All right. I signed a written plea agreement right before I came into court, so just be sure you comply with the terms, okay?
Okay.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Come on up. What's your name?
Tiana Clay.
All right, Ms. Clay, you're here with Ms. Tringus.
Yes, Your Honor, this is a relatively new case for us. A notice of appearance and a notice of discovery was filed from my office on 1/29/25, so discovery is not due yet.
All right. Are you asking for a continuance?
Yes, Your Honor.
So I'll continue the case until March 3rd. Be sure you stay in touch with Ms. Tringus, okay?
9 a.m.
9 a.m. Yes, ma'am.
Keep in touch with me, okay? Great, thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Come on up. What's your name?
Sheila Denise Clark.
All right, Ms. Clark, you're here on a violation of probation. Are you represented by an attorney?
No,
Would you like to be?
no.
You're going to represent yourself?
Yes.
Okay. Does the state have an offer?
Your Honor, GCS, have you guys?
Have you started or completed your substance abuse treatment yet? I know that you turned in your certificate for DUI, but treatment was required, so you're waiting on verification that you completed substance abuse treatment.
I gave you the paperwork.
All you gave us was your DUI completion. Whenever we asked you to go to the treatment provider and request documents that you completed the treatment.
I had gave you all of that.
So last time we were in court, I think you just gave us the certificate that said DUI.
I went to Bridgeway and they gave me the paperwork, and then I gave them the paperwork. And it
Okay.
was already completed,
DUI school or treatment?
both.
Do you have anything with you to show that you completed DUI, the treatment?
It's somewhere in my car.
Okay. Is your car here?
Yes.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'll just pass your case for a minute. You can go out to your car and you can get it. And then just take a seat in one of these first rows and I'll call you back up, okay?
Okay.
Joseph Camo, Cameron Cooper, Alexis Core, William Correa, Dre Crittenden, Abner Cruz Mariquin. What's your name?
Joseph Camo.
All right, you're here with Ms. Tringus?
Your Honor, I did request discovery in this case, and I did receive the videos and photographs on January 8th. I'm asking for a continuance so I may review the evidence with my client.
All right, sir, so I'll continue the case till March 3rd at 9 a.m. You need to make an appointment with Ms. Tringus and be sure that you keep it, okay?
Cool.
All right, thank you.
All right. You got a card or something?
They'll get through getting a card. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am, come on up. Are you Ms. Core?
Yes. Your Honor, Ms. Porter is here today in a failure to comply with the DPA, and it appears that she has been making payments. So what is left on this? How much is left? So she did pay $50, Your Honor, on Friday, and there is a balance of $150. I know she's been trying to pay that. She's called, she's been in touch with my office. I'm asking for a continuance if the state doesn't have an objection.
No objection, Your Honor.
All right, ma'am, so I'll continue the case until March 3rd at 9 a.m. Be sure that you are making significant progress so that this case can be resolved, okay?
Your Honor, did Ms. Core have two cases? I'm sorry.
She did.
Okay, so that was,
Hang on a second, Ms. Core, come on back up. If he can step back for 1 second.
Your Honor, in case number 24CT2739, I did receive 3 videos in December. I can have one continuance so I can review these videos with my client.
All right, so I'll continue the case until March 3rd at 9 a.m., and then this will be the last continuance on this case. Okay?
So we can go into those videos, okay? Your Honor, Jaira Crittenden is in Walton County Jail, and he is receiving a competency evaluation scheduled for February 7th with a psychologist over in Bay County.
Okay, so we'll continue Mr. Crittenden's case until March 3rd.
Thank you, Your Honor.
What's your name, sir?
¿Cómo se llama?
Abner Cruz.
Abner Cruz Marroquín.
All right, Mr. Cruz, you're here today with Ms. Tringus. Ms. Tringus?
Yes, Your Honor, I did send a notice of discovery. 5 videos were received by my office on January 7th, 2025. I'm asking for a continuance so Mr. Cruz can meet with me at my office.
Pidiendo aplazamiento de su caso para
And we can review the evidence.
Any objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
All right. So, Mr. Cruz, I'll continue your case until March 3rd at 9 a.m. You need to make an appointment with Ms. Tringus and be sure that you keep it so that you can go over the discovery with her, okay?
I have a Spanish speaking person call my office to schedule the
Una
appointment.
persona que habla inglés llama a las oficinas para que se reúna con ella.
It's Abner Cruz Mariquin. Yason David Rodriguez Cruz, Alba Donkey, Shanga Daniel, Dakota Davis.
Dakota Davis is an inmate, Your Honor.
Okay, then we'll pass Mr. Davis. Ajit Debnath, Nicole Dehant. What's your name, sir? All right, Mr. Debnath, we have the interpreter here via Zoom.
Your Honor, my name is Romana Fariha. I'm going to interpret for Ajit Debnath.
All right. So, sir, you're here today on 3 separate charges.
আপনি এখানে এসেছেন 3টা ভিন্ন ভিন্ন আরোপিত হয়ে। আপনি কি সেটা জানেন?
Are you
Yes,
are you represented by an attorney?
আপনি কি আপনার সাথে কোনো উকিল আছে?
না
No.
Would you like to be represented by an attorney, or are you going to represent yourself?
আপনি কি কোনো উকিল নিয়োগ করতে চান বা আপনি নিজেই নিজেকে উপস্থাপন করতে চান?
আমি নিজেকে উপস্থাপন করতে চাই।
He wants to represent by himself, Your Honor.
Okay. Does the state have an offer?
Yes, Your Honor, the state would like to offer withhold of adjudication and $270 in court costs along with not selling tires.
Can it be said a little slower?
It was a withhold of adjudication, $270 in court costs, and comply with the age requirements for sale.
আচ্ছা, আপনাকে $270 দিতে হবে আর কোর্টের কাছে সেই ডকুমেন্টসগুলো জমা দিতে হবে। আপনি কি দিতে রাজি আছেন?
হ্যাঁ
Yes, he wants to pay the penalty.
Okay. Raise your right hand, sir.
আপনার হ্যাঁ
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
আপনি যা বলবেন তা কি সত্যি একদম সম্পূর্ণভাবে সত্যি বলবেন?
হ্যাঁ
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you can put your hand down. Tell me your full name and date of birth.
অজিত দেবনাথ জানুয়ারি 1st 2000
Was it January 1st of 2000?
Yes.
At the beginning of court, I advised everyone of their constitutional rights.
আদালত শুরু হওয়ার প্রথমে আপনাকে কোনো দেওয়া হয়েছিল, কোনো নিয়ম কানুন বলে দেওয়া হয়েছিল?
না
No,
We
it doesn't.
didn't have the interpreter then. Do you want me to go over your rights again for you now with the interpreter?
আপনি কি চান আমি সেটা আপনাকে বাংলায় বলি?
হ্যাঁ
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. By entering this plea, you'll be giving up the following rights.
যখনই আপনি আদালতে ঢুকবেন আপনি আপনার যে দাবিগুলো আছে সেগুলোকে যে দাবিগুলো উনি এখন বলবেন সেগুলোকে আপনার নাকচ করে দিতে হবে।
You'll give up the right to a trial by jury, at which the state would have to prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt.
জুরির মাধ্যমে আপনাকে যে রায় দেওয়া হবে সেটা যদি আপনার বিরুদ্ধে যায় সেটা আপনাকে মেনে নিতে হবে। Yes, Your Honor.
You'd give up the right to remain silent.
এবং আপনাকে চুপ থাকতে হবে, আপনাকে কোনো কথা আর যতক্ষণ পর্যন্ত উনি বলবেন আপনি কোনো কথা বলতে পারবেন না।
You'd give up the right not to be compelled to incriminate yourself.
এবং আপনি কোনো রকম কোনো ভীতি প্রদর্শন করবেন না।
You'd give up the right to confront your accusers.
এবং যারা আপনাকে যাদের মাধ্যমে আপনি আরোপিত হয়েছেন তাদের উপরেও আপনি কোনো ভীতি প্রদর্শন করবেন না।
You'd give up the right to compel witnesses to appear and testify.
এবং যারা সাক্ষ্য দিতে আসবে তাদেরকে আপনি বাধ্য করবেন না বা কোনো রকম কোনো বাধা প্রদান করবেন না।
You give up the presumption of innocence and the right to require the state to prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt.
আচ্ছা, যদি কোনো যথাযথ প্রমাণ পাওয়া যায় আপনি দোষী, তাহলে আপনার সেটা স্বীকার করে নিতে হবে।
You'd give up the right to testify on your own behalf and the right to present any defenses that you may have.
এবং আপনি চাইলে আপনার নিজের বিরুদ্ধে যে যারা বলবে সেটার বিরুদ্ধে আপনি কথা বলতে পারবেন, যেহেতু আপনি কোনো উকিল নিয়োগ করেন নাই।
You'd give up the right to appeal any actions taken by the court except for an illegal sentence.
আচ্ছা, কোনো রকম যৌক্তিক রায়ের বিরুদ্ধে আপনি কোনো কিছু বলতে পারবেন না, বা আপনি চাইলে নতুন করে আবার করতে পারেন।
And then if you're not a US,
করতে পারেন।
and then finally, if you're not a US citizen and you enter a plea of guilty or a plea of no contest, could affect your immigration status up to and including deportation.
আচ্ছা, আপনি যদি ইউনাইটেড স্টেটসের সিটিজেন না হয়ে থাকেন, মানে ওই দেশের কোন নাগরিক না হয়ে থাকেন, যদি আপনার দোষ প্রমাণিত হয় তাহলে সর্বোচ্চ আপনাকে হয়তো দেশের ফেরত পাঠিয়ে দেওয়া হবে।
Knowing that you'll be giving up those rights, do you still wish to enter this plea?
সমস্ত কিছু জানার পরেও আপনি কি নিজেকে করতে চান?
না, আমার ভুল হয়েছে।
He's saying that he has made a mistake.
Do you still wish to enter this plea? Or do you not want to enter a plea?
আপনি কি এই অনুমতি চাচ্ছেন কথা বলার জন্য?
হ্যাঁ।
Yes.
Okay. Have you had any drugs, alcohol, or medication that affects your ability to understand what we're doing here today?
আপনি কি কোনো রকম কোনো মাদক বা কোনো রকম কোনো ওষুধের প্রভাবে আছেন এখন?
না।
No.
I'll accept the plea. I'll find that it's freely and voluntarily entered. I'll withhold adjudication. You'll have to pay $270 in court costs, and you'll have to comply with the age requirements to sell these products, and you'll have 90 days to pay that.
আচ্ছা, 90 দিনের মধ্যে আপনি $270 কোর্টকে পে করবেন। এটা হচ্ছে কোর্টের ফি। আর এরপরে থেকে আপনি কখনো কোনো কিছু বিক্রি করার আগে যার কাছে বিক্রি করছেন তার আইডেন্টিফিকেশন কার্ডটা দেখতে যাবেন।
আচ্ছা।
Thank you, sir.
May I approach, Your Honor?
Sure.
Before he leaves,
Sir, come on back up. Hang on, Madam Interpreter.
Yes.
All right, thank you.
I proudly served Florida as a state trooper.
You're good to go, sir.
During that time, I investigated over
Your Honor, if you allow me, may I leave?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Have a good day.
You too. All right, Ms. DeHunt, you're here with Mr. Maddox.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Your Honor. She's been evaluated by Dr. Chelsea Sheehan. I do have the report here. I have discussed this report with the state, and I do have a copy for the court, Your Honor. It's my understanding that the state and I wish to stipulate to this report's admission into evidence.
Okay.
May I approach?
Yes. And the state stipulating?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so the report from Dr. Sheehan is admitted into evidence. I've reviewed the report. Based on my review, I do find that Ms. Stehant is incompetent to proceed. So we will set a one-year review unless the state's going to do something else.
Yes, Your Honor, I believe the state has an announcement in this case.
Yes, Your Honor, the state would like to announce a no pros on this case due to the competency evaluations.
Okay, that means the case has been dismissed, ma'am.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
John Derricott, David Dunkley, Caleb Easterling, Jose Edwards, Cornelius Farmer, Brian Flecker, and Marta Garcia. What's your name?
Edwards.
Jose Edwards?
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Edwards, you're here today on a petty theft charge. Are you represented by an attorney?
So the last time I came, I did apply for public defender.
Okay. And was it denied, or have you not heard anything?
Now, you told me to come back today to see if I would be able to be represented by one or not.
Okay. So based on your income, it looks like you make $1,200 every other week. Is that correct?
At the moment, yeah.
Okay. So based on those income levels, you don't qualify for the public defender. Have you attempted to hire private counsel?
I did look out to get one, but it's way too expensive.
Okay. What efforts have you made to hire private counsel? Any other than just the initial look?
So I did reach out. As soon as I got the case, I got mailed by some, and I got the business cards. I did Google some, call them, and try to, and got in touch with them, but the prices were too high.
Okay. So at this point, you're not going to qualify for the public defender. You can make additional efforts to hire private counsel, and then if you're still unable to, we can talk about it then, okay?
I guess I'll represent myself.
Okay, does the state have an offer?
Yes, Your Honor, the state would like to offer a withhold of adjudication, $270 in court costs, 11 months, 29 days probation, 24 hours community service, and then restitution of $228.50 to Destin Brothers Towing.
Would you like to accept that offer?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Would you like to proceed to trial at this time? I mean, I don't mean today. I mean, would you like to set your case for trial? Or do you want some additional time to investigate and do some research?
So there's no way I can get a public defender, right?
So what I said is you need to make additional efforts to hire private counsel. And then if you're still unable to, you can tell me at your next court date.
Okay.
Okay? So do you want some additional time to do that?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll continue it until March 3rd at 9 a.m. Okay? So on that date, if you've been unable to hire counsel, be ready to tell me additional information about what you've done. Okay?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
What's your name?
John Derricott.
Derricott? All right, Mr. Derricott, you're here today on a driving while licensed, suspended, or revoked charge. Are you represented by an attorney?
No, I represent myself.
Okay, state.
Your Honor, I see that he has just failed to comply with the DPA and needs to complete the financial obligation.
Have you paid that, sir?
May I speak, please?
Sure.
I will file a motion for dismissal. I got a few reasons why.
So if you're going to file a motion for dismissal, you need to file the motion, okay? So you got to write it out and file it, and then we can set it for a motion hearing. Okay?
All right.
All right, so what I'll do is I'll continue the case until February 17th If you get that motion filed before then on the 17th, we can schedule that motion
I
here.
got one other option. Since the officer's not present in the courtroom, I was offered a situation where I had a diversion program called hardship license. I travel out of town for work. Y'all stopped all my money, so I told them I wasn't gonna pay because I already paid child support. This is a DSS situation. I'm in criminal court. That's two different courtrooms, right? Correct? DSS? I got DSS paperwork. This is where the financial obligation is not being shown, correct? So the state need to show me where, y'all got evidence, correct? To show me why my license is suspended, so I wanna see that evidence, if there is.
If you want to participate in discovery, then you need to follow.
But if not, is there a diversion program? That's what I'm saying. I was offered that, but never was given it. That's what I was saying.
So what Ms. Gearing says is that you were given the
I
diversion.
went to the go ahead, I'm sorry. But I went to the DMV. The process was DMV, I give you the money. I was not able to pay the money to get the hardship. So I gotta wait 30 days to come back in the courtroom, correct? I come back in front of the courtroom, there's still no paperwork. So when I go to the see, my stuff out of South Carolina, see, I ain't from Florida, so all
sir,
your Florida stuff is not.
Sir, you did enter into the diversion program
Okay, so why am I not getting my license back for the hardship?
because the criminal court diversion process has nothing to do with your license.
That's what I was told, that's what I'm saying.
Part of the diversion agreement was that you would make a good faith effort to obtain your
And they
driver's
said-
license.
That's what I'm saying. I went to the DMV to pay the money so I can keep moving forward. Since they said this is a South Carolina issue, this is where I got my paperwork to show you. I don't need to wait 30 days. I got South Carolina paperwork and I got Florida paperwork. And this is 24. So that's,
So what Ms. Gearing said is the only outstanding condition that the state saw is that you hadn't paid the $200 for
so
this
that's
case.
it. But I'll still, if I pay the 200, so it's gonna not show it's gonna still show as a guilty verdict. I don't want no guilty and then I'm still
No,
gonna pay
it's
the
gonna,
two.
if you pay the $200 in this case will be dismissed.
All right, I paid in a week and it's a dismissal, correct?
You need to come back to court on the 17th.
All right, I
Okay.
paid on the set. I paid the clerk, correct?
You pay the clerk of court right down the hall.
And it's a
Okay?
dismissal, it won't show first degree, correct?
It will show that this case has been dismissed.
All right, all right.
All right, I'll see you on the 17th at 9 a.m.
Okay.
Yes, sir. What's your name?
David Dunkley.
All right, sir, you're here with Ms. Tringus.
Yes, Your Honor, I did reach out to both of the officers in this case, Officer Marcus Montgomery, who is refusing to talk to me, and also Nathan Chapin, who I've received no reply from. I did subpoena the alleged victim to be here today, Tyler Chenault. I do not believe he is here, Your Honor. The state is going to, there's not a witness listed on the discovery exhibit, although the police officer refers to a witness in his report, which was based upon Mr. Dunkley's, based upon the witness's testimony, the officer arrested my client. So without the witness, without the victim, I'm not quite sure how this state could go forward. But we can set it for trial.
Okay, it'll be set for trial. So, sir, your next court date is February 19th at 9 a.m. If it's not resolved on the 19th, then it will go to trial the week of the 24th, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Be sure you stay in
February
contact with
19th.
Ms. Tringus. The 19th. Yes, sir.
Next case is Caleb Easterling, number 59 on the docket, for the court on 24 and then 4186. Your Honor, I was appointed to this case on Friday. I'm still in the process of receiving discovery. If I can continue this for a full cycle.
All right, so I'll continue the case until March 3rd at 9 a.m., okay? Be sure you stay in touch with Mr. Harper.
Good, thank you.
Yes, sir, come on up. What's your name? What was it? Flecker?
He's number 63, Your Honor, on today's docket.
All right, sir, you're here with Ms. Tringus. Ms. Tringus?
Your Honor, I did go to the evidence room last week, and I would like to have one continuance. I can review the information that I gathered there with my client.
Okay. So I'll continue it until March 3rd at 9 a.m., and this will be the last continuance, okay?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
So be sure you stay in touch with Ms. Tringus.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
What's your name, ma'am?
Marta Garcia
Marta Garcia
Torres.
Torres.
All right, Ms. Garcia, you're here today with Ms. Tringus.
Sure, do we have a plea to a pre-trial session?
Okay.
Okay. Your Honor, if we can pass this so she can go over this.
Okay.
And we'll just recall her case at the end.
So I'll pass your case, ma'am, and I'll call you back up at the end. Hadrian Garcia, Manuel Garcia Antunes, Donald Gates, Billy Gomillion, Damian Goodman, Leslie Greenfield. What's your name?
Manuel Garcia Antunes.
All right, Mr. Garcia, you're here with Ms. Tringus.
Your Honor, our office filed a motion to withdraw, I believe, due to Mr. Garcia not being indigent. I did speak with him this morning and explained that he can have a judge review the application.
All right, let me take a look at it.
I'm sorry, Honor. Is there any way I can have a translator?
Sure, Spanish?
Yeah.
Okay, so just take a seat, and when Madam Interpreter comes back in, we'll recall you, okay?
Thank you, Honor.
Yes, sir. What's your name?
Damian Goodman.
All right, Mr. Goodman. You're here today without an attorney, is that correct?
Sir?
Would you like to be represented by an attorney?
No, sir.
All right. What are the outstanding conditions of Mr. Goodman's probation? Have you completed that yet?
Yes, sir. I have that right here.
If you can hand that to Ms. Gearing.
Thank you.
Sir, have you given a copy of this to probation?
I haven't seen it yet. They said they were going to fax it over to her.
Probation, have you received a copy of the substance evaluation and treatment?
Is it complete?
Your Honor, it looks like he did complete some. I just don't know if probation has received a copy of this. Can I approach and give a copy of this probation and see if this
Hand it
meets-
to me, please.
Yeah, they told me they was gonna send the certification part over to PO.
Okay. Okay. I mean, it sure looks like it's complete, if you want to take a look. And you went to CARE?
Yes, sir.
And where's CARE located?
Marietta, Florida.
Okay.
Did they not give you a certificate of completion?
The last date was on Monday, the 27th, where I signed off, and he told me it would take a week for them to get it in through their director, and they told me that he would email you personally, or the PO, the certification. I was supposed to get it today, but court time was at 9, they don't open up till 8, and I live 2 hours away, so I couldn't get it personally.
Okay, I mean, as far as what I see, it says completed on 1/27/25. We will just need to have that certificate.
Okay,
So as soon as we can give that to us, then we can do that.
okay,
So what I'll do is I'll continue your case until February 17th.
all right,
You live in Mariana?
yes, sir.
So since the only thing outstanding is that certificate, you can appear via Zoom, okay?
It works, okay,
So what you'll need to do is you'll need to write to my office and basically request a Zoom appearance.
okay,
File it with the clerk, and then my assistant will prepare an order to send that has the Zoom ID, okay?
okay.
Is there paper in front of you?
Yes, no, sir, not from, well,
Any sheet of paper, perfect. On that, write down this Zoom ID.
all right.
Well, actually, hang on, I don't want to. Juan, can you hand me that sheet of paper? I'll write down the Zoom ID. I don't want to broadcast it to the world.
And you're going to do what we do with purge administrative paperwork.
Do you need the paperwork, or can probation keep that?
They can keep that, I believe that was for them.
Thank you.
So since you have that, just appear via Zoom on the 17th, okay?
That works, thank you.
Sydney Guyton, Selena Hampton, Jonathan Hanniton, Dolly Headley, Tommy Headley. What's your name?
Sydney Guyton.
All right, Ms. Tringus?
Your Honor, we've been continuing her case so she can finish up some of the requirements. If you, where are you at in that?
I met with the counselor at Bridgeway. I have an appointment Wednesday. I already did my evaluation in January, so my appointment Wednesday is for the treatment plan. And I gotta be there at 2, but also 2:30 at the same building. But one of those appointments is the plan of action for the treatment. So I've already done the evaluation.
Do you know how much treatment was recommended?
No, sir. Just, all I was told was just specifics, like one-on-one counseling and group therapy. I wasn't told of how long it would be or what, but it is in action. There's no delays.
Okay. So I'll continue the case until March 3rd so that we have an idea of what we're looking at, okay?
Should I mention in my appointment Wednesday that how long it plans to be so I can have more
They
information?
should tell you. But
They should?
I would expect them to.
Okay.
How many treatments you'll have to attend, but if they don't specifically tell you, ask them so that you can tell me.
Yes, sir.
Okay? Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. All right, Mr. Hanniton, you're here with Mr. Maddox.
Yes, Your Honor. Your Honor, we've reached a resolution in this case. Your Honor, he's going to plead to a first offense stipulated below a .15, and in exchange for that plea today, Your Honor, the state is also going to dismiss the driving while license suspended charge. Your Honor, it would be a no contest plea with the following terms.
Okay?
An adjudication of guilt, $500 fine, $476.73 in court costs, DUI school, victim impact panel, 50 hours of community service work, and any objection to a buyout too.
Your Honor, no objection to a buyout.
Buyout available, Your Honor. 6-month driver's license suspension, a 10-day vehicle impound, any objection converting it to administrative after 6 months if he has no violation.
No objection to that, Your Honor.
Okay. And the ability to convert the probation to administrative probation after 6 months, Your Honor, if all terms are complete and there are no violations, and then the cost of defense.
Okay. Sir, raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
All right, sir. Tell me your full name and date of birth.
Jonathan Anderson, 7/18/86.
Sir, were you present in court earlier this morning when I advised everyone of the rights that would be given up if you were to enter a plea of no contest today?
Yes.
Do you have any questions about those rights?
No.
Do you believe it's in your best interest to enter this plea and accept the offer?
Yes.
Has Mr. Maddox answered all your questions?
Yes.
Have you had any drugs, alcohol, or medication that affects your ability to understand what we're doing here today?
No.
And the state's going to file an amended information?
Yes, we will, Your Honor.
All right, sir, so I will accept the plea. I'll find that it's freely and voluntarily entered. You'll be adjudicated guilty. You'll have to pay a $500 fine, $476.73 in court costs. You must attend and complete DUI school and the victim impact panel. You have to register for those classes within the first 90 days of probation. You have to complete 50 hours of community service. Your driver's license is suspended for 6 months. Your vehicle must be impounded for 10 days. You'll have to pay a $100 cost of defense, and it can convert to administrative probation after 6 months if you've completed all terms. All right, sir?
Right.
You need to step over, be fingerprinted, and then report into probation within 24 hours. Yes, sir. What's your name?
Louis Guthrie.
All right, Mr. Guthrie, you're here, sorry, my docket said you were in jail, but clearly you're not. You're here with Mr. Harper? Mr. Harper?
Yes, Judge, this is Mr. Guthrie. He and I did have a meeting, we discussed things. Additionally, there's some additional reciprocal discovery I need to provide the state as to potential witnesses in this matter. So I'd ask for a full cycle continuance. I think this might be the first time up, but if not, I will try to get everything addressed for a resolution next cycle.
All right, March 3rd at 9 a.m. Be sure you stay in touch with Mr. Harper.
Thank you.
Madeline Herman, Carlos Hernandez, Gilbert Herndon, Tyler Hicks, Tyrone Hinesley, Nancy Heinrichs. What's your name?
Madeline Vernon.
All right, Ms. Herman, you're here with Mr. Maddox.
Yes, Your Honor, if I could just have a brief moment.
Okay.
Your Honor, we have reached a resolution in this case. In exchange for the plea today, the state and I are going to stipulate that this is a below .15 DUI, Your Honor, and she'll enter a no contest plea with that understanding with following terms.
Okay.
Be an adjudication of guilt, $500 fine, $476.73 in court costs, 50 hours of community service work. Any objection to a buyout?
No, Your Honor, no objection.
Buyout available, Your Honor. DUI school, victim impact panel, 6-month driver's license suspension, a 10-day vehicle impound, the cost of defense, and any objection to conversion to admin at 6 months.
No objection.
And the ability to convert to probation, administrative probation, Your Honor. All terms are complete and there are no violations.
All right, ma'am, raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
All right, you can put your hand down. Tell me your full name and date of birth.
Madeline Nicole Herman, November 27, 2002.
Ma'am, were you present in court earlier this morning when I advised everyone of the rights that would be given up if you were to enter a plea of no contest today?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions about those rights?
Yes, sir.
Do you believe it's in your best interest to enter this plea and accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Have you had any drugs, alcohol, or medication that affects your ability to understand what we're doing here today?
Yes, sir.
Has Mr. Maddox answered all your questions?
Yes, sir.
And the state's going to file an amended information, correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right. So I will accept the plea. I'll find that it's freely and voluntarily entered. You'll be adjudicated guilty of a first offense DUI under a .15. You'll have to pay a $500 fine, $476.73 in court costs. You'll have to complete 50 hours of community service. You can buy that out at the statutory rate. You have to complete DUI school and victim impact panel. You have to register for those within the first 90 days of probation. Your driver's license is suspended for 6 months. Your vehicle must be impounded for 10 days. You'll have to pay the $100 cost of defense. You can't consume any drugs or alcohol while you're on probation, and you're subject to random testing. And then if you've completed all terms, your probation can convert to administrative probation after 6 months, okay? All right. You need to step over to be fingerprinted and be sure you check in with probation within 24 hours. Yes, sir.
Judge, this is Gilbert Herndon, number 80 on the dockets. He's got 2 cases before the courts, 24 MM 4230 and 24 MM 4210. Judge, I was appointed to this case end of last month. I don't have all the discovery in this matter. I'm still attempting to collect all that. I'd ask for a full cycle continuance.
All right, so I'll continue both cases until March 3rd so that you can review the discovery with your attorney, okay?
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Tyler Hicks.
All right, Mr. Hicks, you're here today with Mr. Maddox. Mr. Maddox?
Yes, Your Honor. So, Mr. Hicks.
Yes.
If I could have just a brief moment, Your Honor. Your Honor, the state and I have discussed this case. I believe they're going to subpoena the victim to the jury review date, so if we could just get a status date for that to occur.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Is there any reason it just shouldn't be set for trial?
We did just recently get discovery, Your Honor.
Okay.
I'd like a chance to review that with them at least and see what the situation is.
So I'll set it on 2/19 for status at 9 a.m.
Judge, if I can call Nancy Henricks next.
Okay.
83 on the docket. She is present and approaching before the court on 24 CT 2995. Your Honor, I believe this is the first time up. This is a driving case, and it's my understanding there might be a discrepancy between whether or not she had valid insurance at the time, because that was the basis for her suspension. She believes that she did, and has paperwork to substantiate that. What I'd ask for is a full cycle continuance so that I can go over that and find out whether or not her license is suspended in error. And if not, then we'll proceed forward from there.
Okay.
And also too, I couldn't.
Hang on. Before you say anything, talk to Mr. Harper. Don't tell me. Talk to Mr. Harper.
Judge, if we can move this to September 3rd, she has an issue with her vehicle is unfortunately towed, and she's upset about that. Unfortunately, there's nothing we can do to address that at the present, so.
March 3rd. March 3rd at 9 a.m. Yes, sir. What's your name, sir?
Tyron Hinesley.
All right, Mr. Hinesley, you're here today with Mr. Maddox. Mr. Maddox?
Yes, Your Honor, he's got some documentation for the state, if we could just show that to the state.
Okay.
Your Honor, this state and Mr. Maddox had previously discussed amending count 2 to let him plead to no valid driver's license instead of DWLSR, and dismissing count 1. The state will honor that agreement.
Okay. So what are the terms?
Yes, Your Honor. So Mr. Hinesley will enter a no contest plea to the amended charge of a no valid driver's license. It'll be an adjudication of guilt, Your Honor, $300 in court costs, and the cost of defense, Your Honor. He has shown proof of valid license to the state.
Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
And how many prior no valid charges does Mr. Hinesley have?
I'm sorry, Judge, give me just a second. I know that he had 3 prior DWLSRs from over 10 years ago, but give me just a second.
I believe he has 1, Your Honor, but I'll let the state double check that.
I'm sorry, Judge, again, the computer's loading, it's just so slow. I'm not seeing any prior no valids.
Okay. Sir, raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right, sir, tell me your full name and date of birth.
Tyron W. Hinesley, 4/10/1961.
Sir, were you present in court earlier this morning when I advised everyone of the rights that would be given up if you were to enter a plea of no contest today?
I was.
Do you have any questions about those rights?
No, sir.
Do you believe it's in your best interest to enter this plea and accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Has Mr. Maddox answered all your questions?
Yes, sir.
Have you had any drugs, alcohol, or medication that affects your ability to understand what we're doing here today?
No, sir.
All right, sir, I will accept the plea to the charge of no valid driver's license. You'll be adjudicated guilty. You'll have to pay $300 in court costs and a $100 cost of defense. You do need to step over to be fingerprinted, sir, okay?
Okay.
And then count one, the attaching tag is being dismissed by the state, correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Randall Homack, Jamar Hudson, Aretha James, Mr. Johnson, who's via Zoom, Sylvia Johnson, Brianna Jones, Shaheem Josephs. Yep. What's your name?
Aretha James.
All right, Miss James. So you're here with Mr. Maddox? Mr. Maddox?
Yes, Your Honor. The state may have an announcement in this case.
Yes, Your Honor, in Ms. James's case, I do have a witness here. It does seem that Ms. James was actually not driving that day, so the state has insufficient evidence to continue with this charge, so the state will at this time dismiss this charge.
Okay. The state's dismissed the charges against you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank
sir.
you.
Yeah.
What's your name, sir?
Joseph.
All right, Mr. Josephs, you're here today without an attorney. Would you like to be represented by an attorney?
Yes, sir.
Can you afford to hire one?
No, sir.
All right. Have you completed the application for the public defender? What was that? Have you completed the application for the public defender?
No, sir.
All right, take a seat on the first row, complete the application, and once you've completed it, I'll call you back up. Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, this is Ms. Brianna Jones, 24 CT 2717. She's before the court on the DUI. Your Honor, I'm still in discussions with the state about this case. I'm also potentially working on a motion to suppress, and I sent the state an email this morning about some lingering discovery issues. I do have some of the videos, Your Honor, but a couple other of the videos needed for me to see the full extent of the conversation with Ms. Jones are missing. So the state and I have agreed to continue this case, Your Honor.
Okay. So I'll continue Ms. Jones' case until March 3rd at 9 a.m. Be sure you stay in touch with Mr. Maddox, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you, ma'am. All right, Mr. Johnson, you're here this morning with Mr. Maddox. Mr. Maddox?
Yes, Your Honor.
Hang
Time we were
on.
before
You got to be near the microphone so Mr. Johnson can hear you.
Of course. Morning, Mr. Johnson. Your Honor,
Good morning.
last time we were before the court just wanted to make sure that Mr. Johnson was completing all of his coursework and continues to make progress on that. Your Honor, I do have a letter from his VIP facilitator and assessor confirming his compliance. If the court wants the benefit of that letter, I can approach.
Sure.
But Your Honor, based on that, the state and I are requesting continuance.
Here, I'm going to give it back to you so it doesn't have to be filed. Yep. Can the attorneys approach?
Yes, Your Honor.
For years, I proudly served Florida as a state trooper. During that time, I investigated over 1,000 car, motorcycle, and trucking crashes. My mission was simple, to help the victims. Now, as an injury attorney, I can do even more to help accident victims. Hi, I'm attorney Coy Browning. If you've been injured in a car accident, I'd be honored to help you. Call or visit us at browninglawfirm.com.
All right, Mr. Johnson, I'm going to continue your case until March 3rd. Or I'm sorry, April 7th at 9 a.m., okay?
Does the court have any concerns with his continued appearance via Zoom?
You'd still just file the motion.
Yes, Your
That'll be
Honor.
fine. All right, sir, so be sure you stay in touch with Mr. Maddox and keep doing what you're doing, okay?
Thanks, sir.
All right.
All right, thanks, Mr. Johnson.
Thank you.
All right, Brandy Kelly, Randall Kidd, Timothy Kirk. All right, Ms. Kelly? Yes. All right. Mr. Maddox, where do things stand with Ms. Kelly?
Your Honor, we've actually reached a resolution in this case. Your Honor, she's completed the mental health court program and the state wishes to reward that. Your Honor, so the offer from the state, which Ms. Kelly intends to accept, is an adjudication or admission to the violation with the following terms, Your Honor. An adjudication of guilt, credit for time served, $50 violation of probation fee, and $50 cost of prosecution. Cost of defense, Your Honor, and D6 all outstanding traffic requirements, and the probation will be revoked and terminated.
State's agreement?
That is the state's agreement, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Kelly, raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right, you can put your hand down. Tell me your full name and date of birth.
Brandy Nicole Kelly, 8/19 of 88.
All right. Were you present in court earlier this morning when I advised everyone of the rights that would be given up if you were to enter a plea today?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions about those rights? Has Mr. Maddox answered all your questions?
Yes.
Have you had any drugs, alcohol, or medication that affects your ability to understand what we're doing here today?
No, sir.
And do you believe it's in your best interest to enter this plea?
Absolutely.
All right. I'll accept the plea. I'll find that it's freely and voluntarily entered. You'll be adjudicated guilty. You'll be sentenced to the time that you've already served in the jail. You have to pay a $50 VOP fee, $50 cost of prosecution, and a $100 cost of defense. Any outstanding non-monetary requirements will be D6 to your license. Any outstanding monetary requirements will be sent to collections, and then your probation's revoked and terminated, ma'am, okay?
Okay, can I just ask about, so the...
Has to be first.
Oh. Okay, well, thank you for the opportunity for the PTU program. It was amazing.
Good.
I just finished out January as a top 2 salesperson in my company.
Good.
And my life has turned around so much in 6 months. So that was amazing.
Well, keep it.
You did a great job in the unit, so good luck.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, thank you, Your Honor. Good luck, Ms. Kelly.
Yes, sir. Come on up. What's your name?
Tim Kirk.
All right, Mr. Kirk, you're here with Mr. Maddox.
Yes.
Your Honor, if we could get a status date for this case, Your Honor. So I've spoke with probation. I'm not sure if they've worked with the CARE program before, but they are offering a barriers intervention program. I've made them aware of Mr. Kirk's rehab situation. So I just want to make sure everything's good with probation, but the state has offered a pre-trial diversion agreement, and as long as everything checks out, Mr. Kirk does intend to accept that offer, Your Honor.
Okay. So what I'll do is,
I did double check, and if he's gonna be doing his treatment with the care program.
Sorry?
Has he already done it, or? is he-
No, he would start it upon the
So he's
PD.
doing with the care program, then that's fine.
That's fine? Okay, then that
because
should be
they're the
fine.
community provider over there, right? They're the community provider over there?
You're in Mountain City.
Okay. All right. So what I'll do is I'll enter another court date, March 3rd at 9 a.m. So meet with Mr. Maddox. You can complete all the paperwork that you need to without coming back to court to enter into the pretrial diversion, okay?
Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, so we need to recall a few people. I think I see Mr. Allen back there, so let's recall Mr. Allen. What's your name, ma'am?
Marta Garcia Torres.
All right, Ms. Garcia, let me get to your case.
Number 64, Judge.
All right. Go ahead, Ms. Tringus.
Yes, Your Honor, I hope we forgot some initials. Son. Your Honor, may I approach?
Yes. Thank you. All right, and Madam Interpreter, if you'll raise your right hand, do you swear or affirm that you will translate truthfully from English to Spanish and Spanish to English today?
Yes.
All right. And Ms. Garcia, if you'll raise your right hand, do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Sí, señor.
Yes.
All right. Ma'am, tell me your full name and date of birth.
Fecha de nacimiento.
Marta García Torres, 581-43-83-88.
Marta García Torres, su fecha de nacimiento, ¿cuál?
16 de mayo de 1972.
May 16, 1977.
All right, ma'am. I've been provided a plea and sentencing agreement and a pretrial diversion agreement.
Un acuerdo firmado por usted en relación al juicio.
Sí, señor.
Yes,
Have
sir.
you reviewed both of these with your attorney and with the interpreter?
Con la intérprete.
Sí, señor.
Yes, sir.
And has Ms. Tringus answered all your questions?
Contestó todas sus preguntas.
Sí, señor.
Yes, sir.
You understand that if I accept the plea, I'll defer sentencing so you can complete the pretrial diversion agreement?
Sí, señor.
Yes, sir.
And so long as you successfully complete the agreement, the charges will be dismissed against you.
Sí, señor.
You understand that if you don't successfully complete the agreement, you'll be returned to court and will proceed immediately to sentencing, where you could be sentenced up to the statutory maximum.
Sí, señor.
Yes, sir.
And you believe it's in your best interest to enter this plea, correct?
Esta declaración hoy.
Sí, señor.
Yes, sir.
All right. So I will sign the plea now,
Firmar el acuerdo firmado.
and then you need to report to probation through the QR code within 24 hours, okay?
Con la información de cómo contactar a aprobación.
Sí, señor.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you, ma'am.
She just needs to scan
Con su
this with her
teléfono
telephone.
celular en la cámara, pone la cámara el teléfono aquí y aquí le va a dar información.
Ms. Sharpless or Ms. Gearing, one of you needs to sign this.
Con la cámara del celular, la pone aquí y le va a llevar un enlace a donde contactar a aprobación en esta dirección. This is so I can register for classes.
For probation. She must
Sí, para aprobación. Tiene 24 horas para registrar. Where do I pay?
They will write
En
probation.
aprobación le van a contar ahí.
All right, Mr. Allen?
Yes, sir.
That part, I already did, so I already did my 8 minutes.
You did 8 months on this charge.
Hmm?
You did, you Your Honor, Mr. Allen did meet with Mr. Rivera. He would be a possible candidate for Veterans Court since he was a veteran, correct? What years did you serve?
77 to 96. So Judge, I'm just ready to get this over with.
Okay,
No matter what.
so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna continue the case so that you can meet with Mr. Rivera and that you can meet with Ms. Tringus, okay? It sounds like there are some things that need to be discussed between you all, okay?
Yes, sir, from May 3rd.
March 3rd at 9 a.m. will be your next court date. Make sure you meet with Ms. Tringus and Mr. Rivera before your court date.
Go right now,
Go talk to him.
right now.
Go talk.
At
Mr.
Rivera.
He's on the second floor.
Second floor.
Yep,
Thanks, Your Honor.
all right. Yes, sir, come on back up.
Gates, Donald.
Okay, I don't think you came up when I called your name before.
I was running just a little bit late, sir.
Okay, then take a seat and you'll be called at the end, okay? Is there anyone else that needs to be recalled? You completed the application? All right. And then, sir, that needed the interpreter, right behind Madam Interpreter, you can come back up also. Come on up, sir, to the podium. Deputy Newman. And what's your name again, sir?
Rene Bustamante.
Bustamante. All right, Mr. Bustamante, I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. I'll continue the case so you'll be able to meet with Ms. Tringus. Your next court date will be March 3rd at 9 a.m., sir, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you.
I will. Thank you.
What's your name again, sir?
¿Cómo se llama?
Manuel Alejandro Garcia, please.
It's under Garcia, right? Garcia is the first last name? What's your first name?
Manuel.
Manuel. All right. So, Mr. Garcia, you're here with Ms. Tringus. Ms. Tringus?
Your Honor, this is the case where he was found to be not to be indigent, and I believe you were going to review his application.
You filed the motion to withdraw?
It said, on my docket, it says not indigent. I'm not sure, Your Honor, if the motion was actually filed. It should have been.
Mr. Garcia, how much do you make per week approximately?
700.
Okay. And you don't have any dependents, right?
No.
So at this point, I'm going to find that you don't qualify for the public defender, but I'll continue the case so that you can attempt to hire private counsel, and we'll go from there, okay?
Okay.
So your next court date, sir, will be March 3rd at 9 a.m.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right, yes, ma'am, come on back up. Did you get the paperwork? All right, if you can hand that to Deputy Newman. And what's your name again, ma'am?
Sheila Denise Clark.
All right, Ms. Clark. So you've completed DUI school, and then the question was, would you need to complete treatment, correct?
And she said I didn't need any treatment.
But DUI school said she did. right?
DUI said she did, so she would have to go to the Bridgeway section, for substance abuse treatment and establish.
So Bridgeway says she doesn't need treatment. Can I see you for a second, Ken?
According to her evaluation, she does not meet requirements, so she's done.
Okay, so was that the last thing that she needed to do? All right, so at this point, the violation of probation will be dismissed, and your probation is terminated, ma'am, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Do you want this paperwork back, or do you want us to keep it?
I'll keep it.
Okay,
Make sure you, stop by the office is closed right now.
I mean, I don't need it.
You don't need it?
I don't need it.
Is it okay for us to keep it?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
thank you. Yes, ma'am. What is it?
I paid,
The costs, is it Avalos? Okay, if you can provide that to Ms. Gearing. Right there next to you. She saw it?
Okay, so is that?
Nope, hang on, come back up for a second.
Your Honor, the state would like to announce a no pros based on successful completion of the terms of the deferred prosecution agreement.
All right, so Ms. Avalos, that means that this case is dismissed.
Right.
So you still have your other issues that you need to get resolved so you can get a driver's license, okay? So even though this case has been dismissed, be sure you keep working to get your license so that we don't have this problem again, okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you, good luck.
Thank you.
And then, does anyone have anything else we need to address before we call inmates?
Made a state and I approach on one case, Your Honor.
Sure.
Randall Kidd.
Ms. Stringus, do you have a case?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Leroy Figures, Your Honor.
Okay,
Your Honor, Mr. Figures, the new law violation in this case is going to hopefully be resolved on February 12th. If I
Okay.
can have one continuance, so this way we can get that case resolved, as the circuit court case is the new law violation.
okay, so I'll set it on March 3rd at 9 a.m. And if you want, you can probably resolve this case in circuit court. Okay, so make sure you talk with your attorney about that.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Figures.
Yes, sir, come on up.
My name is James Carter. I was told on the 28th of January that Rudy Harper was my employer.
Okay.
And now he's saying that he's not. And so I'm not sure where I'm supposed to be and who I'm supposed to talk to.
All right, give me just a second. Let me see what's going on.
Well, please make sure your cell phone is not silent.
So you're Corey Carter, correct?
No, sir.
Okay, what's your first name?
James.
James Carter. What's your date of birth?
12/18/64.
This is set for, Wednesday with Mr. James.
Corey's my son.
Okay. So you're James Carter.
I'm
Your
James
son is
Lee Carter.
Corey James Carter.
Corey James Carter, yes.
Okay, so you're not on today's docket. I think your son is. And what Madam Clerk just told me is that Mr. Nopes has been appointed to represent you. So let me look really quickly. But I believe what most likely happened is Mr. Harper was appointed, he had a conflict, and so he moved to withdraw also. But let me make sure that's right. James Lee Carter? So Mr. Nopes is going to be your attorney, okay? Your court date is Wednesday, okay?
Okay.
So Mr. Nopes' office is in Crestview. You can call him, and then I'll see you in court on Wednesday, okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Donald, please.
Nope, you're gonna go at the very end since you weren't here. All right, we ready for the inmates?
Do you want me to address the waivers of appearance now, Your Honor, or after the inmates?
After the inmates.
Okay, then yes, Your Honor, ready to proceed.
Who's up first?
What's your name, ma'am?
Michelle Bud. Your Honor, she's number 19 on the docket.
Thank you.
Your
All
Honor,
right.
we're here today in case number 24 MM 3994. And Your Honor, I did meet with Ms. Bodden at the jail this weekend. I think she would be a good candidate possibly for the mental health inpatient program. I talked to Ms. Myers. Ms. Myers was out sick last week, but she will meet with her this week.
Okay.
And Your Honor, my client also has another case, 25 MM 141. The next court date in that is 2/11, and I'm just asking for these cases to be tracked together.
Okay. So what I'll do is I will give you another court date so that Ms. Myers can come evaluate you. So your next court date will be February 17th at 9 a.m., okay?
9 a.m.
At 9 a.m.
And Cindy was out sick last week,
For both.
today, and she can come talk to you.
Is there any way I can get out? I have to stay in jail.
Ms. Tringus, on the new case, you'll enter not guilty plea and waive arraignment?
Yes, Your Honor, thank you.
Thank you. All right, so I'll see you on the 17th, ma'am, okay?
Okay, I didn't quite understand that, but okay.
I'll come see you again.
Okay.
Next will be Jamie Bowling.
Where do I go now?
Back with the officer.
Quit talking.
All right, Ms. Bowling, you're here with Ms. Tringus.
Your Honor, Ms. Bowling is here. We have two cases today, Your Honor. 24 CT 1700, which is a violation of probation case. Your Honor, my client is going to admit the VOP, and the recommendation is an adjudication of guilt, $50 violation of probation fee, $50 cost of prosecution fee, a $100 cost of defense, 120 days. 120 days in the Okaloosa County Jail with credit for all time served, D6, the outstanding requirement, and terminate probation. And in her second case, 24 MM 404, my client will withdraw her previously entered plea of not guilty and plead no contest to that charge. And Your Honor, she'll accept the state's offer, which is an adjudication of guilt, $270 in court costs, no trespassing at St. Andrews by the Sea, located at 307 Harbor Boulevard in Destin, and a $100 cost of defense.
All right, ma'am, raise your right hand for me. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right, you can put your hand down. Tell me your full name and date of birth.
Jamie Lee Bowling, 2582.
Ma'am,
Sorry.
your attorneys advise that you wish to enter an admission to the violation of probation and a no contest plea on the new charge. Is that what you'd like to do?
Yes, sir.
You understand that by entering these pleas, you'd be giving up the following rights. You'd give up the right to a trial by jury, at which the state would have to prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You'd give up the right to remain silent, the right to testify in your own defense, the right to call witnesses in your defense, and the right to present any defenses that you may have. You'd also be giving up the right to confront any witnesses against you and the right to appeal any actions taken by the court except for an illegal sentence. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
And then finally, if you're not a U.S. citizen and you enter this plea, it could affect your immigration status up to and including deportation. You understand that?
Yes,
Do you believe it's in your best interest to enter this plea and accept the state's offer?
I do.
Has Ms. Tringus answered all your questions?
Yes.
Have you had any drugs, alcohol, or medication that affects your ability to understand what we're doing here today?
No, sir.
And this is the state's agreement, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So I will accept the pleas. I'll find they're freely and voluntarily entered in 24 CT 1700. You'll be adjudicated guilty. You'll have to pay a $50 VOP fee, a $50 cost of prosecution, and a $100 cost of defense. You'll be sentenced to 120 days in the county jail. You'll receive credit for all the time that you've already served. Any outstanding non-monetary conditions will be D6 to your license. Any outstanding monetary conditions will be sent to collections.
Okay.
In 24 MM 4004, you'll be adjudicated guilty. You'll have to pay $270 in court costs. You'll have to pay $50 cost of defense. And you can't return to St. Andrews by the Sea for a period of 1 year. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right. Thank you, ma'am. And
Thank you so
90 days
much.
of thanks.
Oh, awesome.
All right, Mr. Arena, you're here with Ms. Tringus.
Your Honor, Mr. Arena does have a pending circuit court case, and I spoke with the felony attorney, which is Mr. Medina. Mr. Medina and Ms. Gaynor are working on a global offer, which will include this charge as well. Their next court date, I believe, is February 6th. And the case number, the circuit court case number is 24CF1609.
Did you say February 6th or?
Yes, February
Okay.
6th, I'm sorry.
So I'll continue the case until March 3rd, okay?
And this should all be resolved, Your Honor, in the circuit court case.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Tony.
Next week, Lucius Baker.
All right, Mr. Baker, you're here with Ms. Tringus.
Your Honor, it's my understanding that Mr. Baker's, I'm sorry, this is a failure to comply with the deferred prosecution agreement.
Yeah, and,
What is it? Do you know what is outstanding?
$250.
yeah, okay.
$250.
15.
Your Honor, we can have a continuance, please. It's my understanding he picked up new charges.
Do you know when his new charges are?
I think I'm supposed to have a bond hearing next week.
Okay. So in this case, what I'll do is I'll continue the case until March 3rd at 9 a.m., okay?
March 3rd, okay.
Okay, all right, thanks.
Laura Chung is next.
All right, Mr. Chung, you're here with Ms. Tringus on a VOP?
We have two cases today, Your Honor, 23 CT 2576 and 23 CT 2724. Both of them were violations of probation, Your Honor. as
Okay.
we Have signed written plea agreements.
Yes. Sir, raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
All right, sir. Tell me your full name and date of birth.
Deferred Chung,
And date of birth?
03/03/1998.
All right, sir. So I've been provided two plea and sentencing agreements. Did you review both of these with Ms. Tringus?
Yes, I have.
Did she answer all of your questions?
Yes, she did.
Do you believe it is in your best interest to enter both of these pleas?
Yes.
Let me look at something. How much credit does Mr. Chung have, approximately?
And I believe he's been incarcerated since September 1st.
Okay. And the new charge was dismissed, is that correct?
Correct, Your Honor.
All right, sir, so I will accept both pleas, and I will enter them now. All right, thank you, sir.
All right, thank you.
Cameron Cooper will be next.
What's your name, sir?
Cameron Cooper.
All right.
Your Honor, I did meet with Mr. Cooper this weekend at the jail. I did file a notice of discovery on January 14th. I did not have any discovery as of January 31st. However, when I was speaking with Mr. Cooper at the jail, it was his understanding that this charge in county court was resolved in circuit court last week.
Yes.
Let me look.
When I checked, Your Honor, the first minute sheet wasn't updated, so I wasn't able to verify.
It's Cameron Cooper, correct?
Yes, sir.
And there's two cases, Your Honor.
Was it resolved in the 1995 case?
That's what I'm sure. 95 CF 774, which had a court date of 1/21.
Should be.
So I don't see anything on the minute sheet related to a county court case, do you?
Okay.
Yeah, it only talks about the felony.
Okay, so if I can have a continuance, Your Honor, so I can receive the discovery and go over it with my client.
Okay.
In both cases.
So I'll continue the case until March 3rd at 9 a.m.
And that's for both cases, Your Honor?
for both cases.
Thank you.
John Daniel is next.
All right, Mr. Daniel, you're here with Ms. Tringus.
Yes, Your Honor, I did meet with Mr. Shonga at the jail this weekend. I filed a notice of appearance and a notice of discovery on January 3rd. As of January 31st, I did not have any evidence, Your Honor.
State?
That should be sent out the next day or so.
Okay, so the discovery must be sent to the public defender's office by 5 p.m. tomorrow.
Okay, awesome.
And then March 3rd at 9 a.m.
Cody Davis will be next.
All right, Mr. Davis, you're here with Ms. Tringus.
Cody Davis. Some of the victims here. I haven't. Okay, so. Okay. Your Honor, the victim is here, the alleged victim is here, so if she can make a statement.
Sure. Sir, step over towards the monitors where the deputy is telling you, and ma'am, come on up to the podium. Raise your right hand, ma'am. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
All right. You can put your hand down. Tell me your full name.
Rachel Williams.
Okay. Ms. Gearing?
Yeah, hi, Ms. Williams. A couple questions for you. So first, I received word from you that you want to have no violent contact. Is that true?
I want no violent contact, and I would like nothing to come out of this.
Or would you like to drop the charges?
I'd like to drop the charges.
And then have you had enough time to think about dropping these charges?
Yes, ma'am.
And you understand that this is a permanent decision and we cannot go back and change it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and if you were to later want this expunged, would you have any objection to a potential expungement down the road?
No, ma'am.
All right, and you're not being coerced into this at all?
No, ma'am.
It's a voluntary decision?
Yes, ma'am.
And, all right, you are okay with dropping these charges?
Yes, I
All
am.
right, no further questions, Your Honor.
All right. Any questions, Ms. Tringus?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you, ma'am. And what's the state going to do?
Oh, sorry. The state would like to announce a no pros based on the victim requesting to drop charges
Okay.
and victim testimony.
So, Mr. Davis, that means the charge is dismissed. Thank you.
Next will be Steve Hendricks.
Okay.
Hey, Judge. White,
Mr. Hendricks.
Shinopra, censorship number 440,000.
Hang on a
I
second.
need you to call the U.S. Embassy.
Mr.
because,
Hendricks.
It's a cancellation review.
What's the status of the evaluation?
Judge, the evaluation has been completed. It's been filed actually for a while now. The issue is that he's got a pending felony case in Crestview. He doesn't have court until, will be his first court date, February 24th. The evaluation's been filed in circuit court as well. I'm hopeful that that disposition will control what happens in this courtroom.
You heard what I said about calling the U.S.
So are you
Embassy.
asking for a continuance to March 3rd?
I'm asking to move this to March 3rd.
All right, so I'll continue this case until March 3rd.
Diplomacy. My Russian birth certificate is 951-791-317-4411. Jamar Hudson.
All right, Mr. Hudson, you're here today with Mr. Maddox.
Actually, Judge, I think that I was just appointed on Friday to this
Correct.
matter.
We did file a motion to withdraw. I believe the court did grant that.
If the state can relay the offer on Mr. Hudson.
Yes, Your Honor. At this time, the state's offer in 24 MM 4273 is adjudication of guilt, $270 in court costs, no trespassing at the Tom Thumb at 1101 North Eklund Parkway, Shalimar, Florida.
Judge, I've spoken with Mr. Hudson. He's inclined to accept the state's offer.
Okay. And Mr. Hudson, I also have to assess a $100 cost of defense. Does that change your decision?
No.
All right. So, sir, raise your right hand as best you can. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Mr.
All right, sir. You can put your hand down. Tell me your full name and date of birth, sir.
Jamal Aaron Hudson, 09/11/82.
All right, sir. Your attorneys advised that you wish to enter a plea of no contest to the trespassing charge. Is that what you'd like to do?
Yes, sir.
You understand that by entering this charge, you'd be giving up, entering this plea, you'd be giving up the following rights. You'd give up the right to a trial by jury, at which the state would have to prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You'd give up the right to remain silent, the right to testify in your own defense, the right to call witnesses in your defense, and the right to present any defenses that you may have. You'd also be giving up the right to confront any witnesses against you and the right to appeal any actions taken by the court except for an illegal sentence. You understand that, sir?
He just asked you, do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Has Mr. Harper, Mr. Hudson?
You have to pay attention to.
I need you to pay attention. Can you tell me some of the rights that I advised you of just a second ago?
I won't have a right to a jury trial. I won't have the right to witness testimony. I will testify on my own behalf about trespassing in the town, anything, trespass that from you.
So I think what I heard you say is that if you enter the plea, you won't.
I have to be trespassed for a year. I have $100 court costs, and I have.
So you know what the terms of the agreement are. That's clear. You definitely know that. So do you understand that there won't be a trial?
Yes, sir. I'll go home today.
So long as there's nothing else holding you, then you'd be released today.
Yes, sir.
You're not fighting this anymore, you understand that?
Yeah.
You understand that you won't be coming back to court for this and that you'll have to pay those court costs and not go back?
Yeah, I'll pay the court costs as soon as possible.
Okay. And you understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen and you enter this plea, it could affect your immigration status up to and including deportation?
Yes, sir. I was born in the U.S.
Okay. I advise everyone so I don't have to guess.
Yeah, University of Chicago, Miami Hospital.
Okay. And have you had any drugs, alcohol, or medication that affects your ability to understand what we're doing here today?
No, I just drink whiskey. I drink whiskey sometimes, that's it, but I don't.
But not today?
I've been drinking 2 years.
Good. So I'll accept the plea. I'll find that it's freely and voluntarily entered. You'll be adjudicated guilty. You have to pay $270 in court costs, $100 cost of defense. You can't return to the Tom Thumb. It was the Tom Thumb on Eglin Parkway in Shalimar, right?
Yes, sir.
You can't go back there for a period of 1 year, sir, okay?
Yes, sir.
And then you'll have 180 days to pay the costs.
Okay, 180 days, 6 months.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you, God bless you, Mr. Selfie.
Community Johnson's next.
All right, Mr. Johnson, you're here with Mr. Maddox?
Yes, Your Honor, we're going to set this one for trial.
Okay. State?
Your Honor, the state will be ready.
Okay. So, Mr. Johnson, your next court date will be February 19th at 9 a.m. If it's not resolved on that date, your case will go to trial the week of February 24th, okay? All right, so I'll see you on the 19th. So we still have 3 people in the audience. Are you all here for yourselves? Now we have a 4th person who's back now. Are you all here for yourself or just to watch? Okay, come on up then.
In your honor, I have Miss April Griffin for entry of the plea.
Okay. What's your name?
Shakaya McElroy.
What was it?
Shakaya McElroy.
McElroy?
Yes, sir.
It is. What's the case number? So at this point, she has paid the cost of the DPA, state?
Your Honor, I'm sorry, what was that case number again?
24 CT 1843.
And it was a failure to comply with the DPA.
Failure to comply.
Your Honor, at this time, we'll dismiss that case.
All right. Thank you, ma'am. I remember, Judge Mason told me. All right. Yes, ma'am, come on up. What's your name, ma'am?
April Griffin.
Okay.
Yes, Your Honor, this is Miss April Griffin before the court on a DUI in 24 CT 1223. Snowstorm kind of messed with things and our ability to turn in the plea, Your Honor, and we appreciate the court's grace in allowing us to turn that in by 2-3. Your Honor, she's going to enter a no contest plea to a DUI. It is a below .15. I know the citation reflects a .151, but the state wouldn't be able to prove a .15, and we've agreed that it will be a below .15 DUI. Your Honor, it would be a no contest plea with the following terms.
Okay.
In adjudication of guilt, 11 months, 29 days probation, 50 hours community service work, DUI school, victim impact panel, 6 months driver's license suspension, and a 10-day vehicle impound. Your Honor, state had no objection to the probation converting to administrative probation after 6 months if all terms are complete and there's no violations, and then a buyout of the community service, Your Honor.
Okay, state's agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, 24 CT 1223.
All right, ma'am, raise your right hand for me. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? All right, you're very quiet, so you're going to have to speak up some, okay? All right, tell me your full name and date of birth.
April Ann Griffin, 11/12/84.
All right, ma'am, were you present in court earlier this morning when I advised everyone of the rights that would be given up if you were to enter a plea of no contest today?
Yes.
Do you have any questions about those rights?
No.
Do you believe it's in your best interest to enter this plea and accept the state's offer?
Yes.
Has Mr. Maddox answered all your questions?
Yes.
Have you had any drugs, alcohol, or medication that affects your ability to understand what we're doing here today?
No.
And state you're going to file an amended information?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so I will accept the plea. I'll find that it's freely and voluntarily entered. You'll be adjudicated guilty. You'll be placed on probation for 11 months and 29 days. You'll have to complete 50 hours of community service. That can be bought out at the statutory rate. You must attend and complete DUI school and the victim impact panel. You have to register for those both within the first 90 days of probation. Your driver's license is suspended for 6 months. Your vehicle must be impounded for 10 days. You'll have to pay a $100 cost of defense. You can't consume any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. And your probation can convert to administrative after 6 months, so long as you've completed all terms, okay?
Okay.
So you need to step over to be fingerprinted. You'll also be given the QR code to report to probation. Make sure you do that within 24 hours. Okay? Yes, sir.
Donald Gates.
All right, Mr. Gates, 3rd time's the charm.
I'm sorry about that, sir.
All right, Mr. Gates, you're here with Ms. Tringus. Ms. Tringus?
Your Honor, this is a failure to comply with the deferred prosecution agreement. We did continue it last time, so he had additional time to pay. My client is working at Sonic, Your Honor, and receives his next paycheck on February 13th. The amount outstanding is $200. He expects to have that paid by then.
State, any objection?
No, Your Honor, no objection.
All right, so what I'll do, sir, is I will set your case for status on February 17th, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, get that paid,
So
okay?
be sure you're on time. All
Yes, sir.
right. What's your name?
Shaim Joseph.
I couldn't hear you.
Shaim Joseph.
Joseph?
Yeah.
Were you completing the application for the public defender. Deputy Newman, can you grab that for me? So you didn't answer how much you make.
No, I'm not working. My mom take care of me.
Okay, so you're not earning any income.
No, I'm not supposed to be working. I'm not eligible to be working.
Okay, so my question is, are you working?
No, sir.
Okay, so I'm going to write in that you have zero income, okay?
Yes, yes, sir. Yes, Your Honor.
Did you receive a citation or were you arrested and taken to jail?
No, I just received a citation, that's all.
Okay, so I'm gonna write NTA for that. All right, so I'll point, well, you didn't sign it. You need to sign it. So I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. I'll continue your case until March 3rd at 9 a.m. Be sure you make an appointment with Mr. Maddox so that he can help you on your case, sir, okay? All right, thank you.
I just have a question.
Sure.
I was arrested for a job while license suspended prior to getting them fixed, and they gave me a new court date, and I'm just trying to see if I still go to that.
What court, what's your last name again?
McElroy,
How do you spell it?
McElroy.
And what's your first name?
Shakaya.
So it looks like your new case is 25 MM 195. So that's a brand new case. So the state probably doesn't have any information on that case. It looks like Mr. Maddox is representing you on that case.
What's the last name, Your Honor?
McElroy. So it's 25 MM 195. Your next court date is February 18th on that case, okay? So get Mr. Maddox's business card on your way out and then give him a call later in the week to talk about your options, okay?
Thank you.
All right.
So I'm appointed on both now then, Your Honor?
No, the first one was
Dismissed.
dismissed.
Oh, dismissed, okay, that's good.
So you had waivers on some people?
Yes, Your Honor, 2 waivers.
Okay.
Your Honor, Randall Hamack, waiver of appearance on file. State has extended a PTD offer, just want to go over that in a little bit more detail, both with the state and with him. Let him consider that and then see what we'll do. We should be able to figure that out by next cycle, Your Honor. I just asked for a continuance 3-3.
Any objection?
No, Your Honor.
3-3.
And Your Honor, Sylvia Johnson, I believe the state was going to subpoena the victim in that case to a status date, is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay. If we could get a status date for that purpose, Your Honor.
2/17.
Thank you. And that is all I have, I believe. Did I miss anything? I don't think so.
Did you have any waivers, Ms. Tringus?
The first one is Amy Glossman,
Okay,
case number 23CT2402, if we can approach.
sure.
Hi, I'm Wanda Roberts. For the last 20 years, I've been helping the residents of Northwest Florida buy and sell their properties. My office is just 1 block south of the courthouse in historic downtown Crestview. Give us a call at 850-398-5389.
Hi, I'm Michael Gilbert, defense attorney with Warrior Law. I represent those accused in Santa Rosa, Okaloosa, and Walton County. If you or anyone you know has been accused of a crime, give us a call. We can help.
Hello, this is Chris Norman at Bulldog Bail Bonds. Our office is in Crestview, Florida, but we service 7 Northwest
Anything
Florida
else?
counties. If you ever
Okay.
find yourself in a
Yeah,
jam,
just go back
please
to the
give us a
podium.
call. We're here to help you out.
Your Honor, I have Corey James Carter. There's 2 cases, 24 MM 3910, 24 MM 4183. I did waive Mr. Carter's appearance for today. Your Honor, we are awaiting the competency evaluation in both of those cases.
March 3rd.
Thank you. Next one, Your Honor, I have is